Remember, guys, keep your hands and feet in the tram at all times. If you don't, that works too. I just remember, I don't have the insurance to cover dismembered bodies. All right, I love y'all though, respectfully. So this story was submitted by Donfire05. I think a man has been watching me. Tonight, I met him. Hope this story belongs here. I currently live in an RV in my mom's driveway. My town is just larger than small, and it's relatively safe. Lots of rich people, doctors live here, so it's kept very nice and crime is relatively low. I never expected something to happen to me, but tonight I met a man, and he was a reminder to me to always lock my door. Sometimes I forget to lock my door, even while I'm sleeping, and it's never been a big deal to me because my town is generally safe. But I'll be locking my door now. It was 2 a.m. and I took my garbage outside to the bin. When I turned around, I noticed a figure in the dark walking towards me. I started to quickly walk away, but he spoke to me. He was a short man, probably in his 50s or 60s. I'm 23 and female. He started talking to me about my living in the RV, and I took charge of the conversation to shut it down quickly. He told me what house he lives in and his name. He was being polite, but very creepy. I'm sure nearly every woman gets what I mean. That older man kind of creepy and too polite to you because you're a pretty young woman. He told me I should come by his house sometime, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Maybe one day. Have a good night. And I walked back to my RV and locked the door. I figured he'd have left, but he didn't. I don't have a curtain on my window right now, and I could hear him pacing outside my window and mumbling to himself. I was just hiding out, but I wanted to lock my door by my bed. It doesn't open at all anyway, but I decided to lock it regardless. I got up and looked outside, and he was staring right at me. He was waving his hand at me to get my attention, walking right up to my window and acting so erratic. It was so different from the guy I just met. I locked my door, and he watched me, and after that, he left my window. I felt like he was still there. 5 or so minutes pass, and he's knocking at my RV door. I don't know if he tried to get in or not. It's just a flip handle, so I can't hear it or anything. I just waited there for an hour before I grabbed a knife and ran into my mom's house. I'm definitely getting a taser and a gun. I think he'd been standing across the street watching me. There's no reason for him to have been just outside my RV at 2 a.m. I think he's been watching me too. People shouldn't really know that I live in the RV. Walking down the street, that's not something I take notice of. I've only ever started to pay attention to RVs and driveways since I started living in one, and I still don't notice if people actually are living in them or not. Maybe I'm being naive, but it makes me wonder if he's been watching me. Seeing that I live in the RV day after day, I don't go outside of my RV. I'm a homebody, so he'd just have So he'd have to have been staring into my RV to really even notice someone actually living in it. It terrifies me. I was so afraid of his intentions. He makes me realize that even if I'm in a safe town, I'm still a young, pretty woman. I'm a target on men's list. It sucks. This is our world. It sucks that there's men out there who are like this towards women.